What is a jet helmet? What should you look out for when buying one? And which models are currently on the market? So many questions that I'll be answering for you in this video, so stay tuned. Welcome to 1000 PS TV, where today we're diving into the topic of jet helmets. I won't keep you waiting with a long intro, let's jump straight in. What exactly is a jet helmet? A jet helmet, also known as an open face helmet or half shell, is a motorcycle helmet that protects the top, back and sides of the head. It's not to be confused with a brain cap, which looks more like this. Those are mostly just for looks, maybe something to hang on your wall, but they usually aren't certified and offer no real safety. So they should definitely not be used on the road. Historically, jet helmets come from aviation. Early motorcyclists actually used leather caps from pilots, which were mainly for wind and weather protection. The first proper jet helmets as we know them today, made from fiberglass shells, appeared after World War II in the 1950s. So, who are jet helmets suitable for today? Quite clearly people in the city, especially those riding scooters. But also anyone who prioritizes style, riders on cruisers or custom bikes, where it's more about looks and lifestyle. Let's move on to the advantages. The most obvious one, it's airy. So if I'm riding in the summer and temperatures are high, I get a lot of airflow to my face, which keeps me cool and adds comfort. Also, since there's no chin bar down here, my view downward and forward is better than with a full face helmet, where a chin guard might block part of the field of vision. So visibility is better with a jet helmet. If you've got a model like this one with a ratchet closure, putting it on and taking it off is super quick. That adds a lot of convenience, especially if you're riding in the city and constantly hopping on and off to get to appointments. And last but not least, there's the style factor. There are jet helmets with sleek minimalist designs like this one, but also really bold and unique styles. So if you're going for a certain look, maybe riding a custom bike, a jet helmet fits the aesthetic perfectly. But where there is light, there is also shadow. So let's talk about the disadvantages of a jet helmet. The most obvious one, which I've already mentioned a few times, is the missing chin bar. If you fall face first, it's going to hurt, because there's no protection at the front. You really have to keep in mind that a jet helmet, especially one with a short visor like this, offers no protection here, which means a higher risk of injury in the event of a crash. Of course, in summer it's airy and comfortable, but once it gets cold or starts to rain, you've got no protection in front of your face, especially with a low visor jet helmet. If you have a longer visor, that's a different story. You'll get more protection from the elements. And finally, the jet helmet simply isn't made for everything. If you're riding more sportily, you'll want to go for a full face helmet instead. The same goes for long highway rides. In those cases, the added protection from wind and weather is just more comfortable. That's something a jet helmet doesn't offer. Let's move on to the next chapter, features and equipment. What should you look out for when buying a jet helmet? Let's start with the most important aspect, safety. All the helmets you see here and most of the helmets currently available on the market are certified according to the ECE 22.06 standard. This standard has been in effect since June 2023. You might still come across helmets with the previous certification ECE 22.05. That doesn't mean those helmets are unsafe. It simply means that the 22.06 helmets have been tested under the newer procedures and meet the current standard. Next, let's talk about the visor. Some jet helmets don't have a visor at all, some come with a short visor, and others have a long visor. The clear advantage of a long visor is that when riding in cold or bad weather, it extends down below the chin, offering maximum protection. However, that also means that when it gets hot, you'll get the least amount of airflow to your face. Some helmets, like those from Nolan, offer the best of both worlds. They come with a long visor and an integrated sun visor that can be flipped down. That way you can ride with the full visor for maximum protection, but if you want more airflow, you can lift it and still have some protection for your eyes. Another very important safety aspect, and one that people often disagree on, is the helmet closure system. Especially for city helmets that are put on and taken off frequently, the ratchet closure is very popular. Once adjusted correctly, you just click the helmet in place and it fits. It's the easiest option. However, it's not considered the safest. The safest option is the double D-ring closure. With the double D-ring system, you have two metal loops that the strap is threaded through, pulled tight and secured with a snap. Why is this system safer? Well, in the event of a crash, the strap tightens automatically and won't slip, unlike the ratchet system, which could potentially break. Of course, it's hard to say how often that actually happens, but the double D is generally considered the safer choice, while the ratchet is more convenient. What you prefer is really a matter of taste. Feel free to let me know in the comments which system you prefer when riding. And since I've got this Arai in my hand, one more thing. Some helmets even have ventilation at the forehead area. Not many jet helmets do, simply because their basic design is already quite open. But when riding in the peak of summer, those extra vents can really help keep your head cool. Finally, when it comes to features and equipment, we should also mention communication systems. Not all jet helmets have them, mainly because of their typical use case. Since they're often used for short trips and are taken on and off frequently, most jet helmets don't come with built-in communication systems. One manufacturer that does offer this quite regularly is Sena. Here I've got a helmet where the communication system is fully integrated, including a microphone for phone calls or group chats when riding with friends. Shoei, for example, offers a different approach. Their jet helmet comes with a built-in preparation at the bottom where you can easily install a compatible communication system that you can order separately. So while communication systems are relatively rare in jet helmets, there are definitely solutions available if that's something you're looking for. But I don't just want to talk about dry theory. I actually tested around 9 helmets myself to share my impressions with you and give a few personal recommendations. The test conditions were always the same. I rode all the helmets one after the other on the same day, using our long-term test bike, the Honda X-ADV. The windscreen was in the lowest position so I could get as much wind as possible to the face. And one more thing I want to mention, I wear glasses, as you can see. So I tested every helmet while wearing my glasses. All the helmets were also in my helmet size, size M, which gives us a good basis for comparing the fit as well. Let's start with the most affordable helmet. I want to present the helmets in order of ascending price, and the first one is the Nishua NJX-1 EVO. It costs €139.99 and is a jet helmet in the most classic sense, very compact in shape, with a short visor and a practical design for city use. It features a ratchet closure. That compact shape is great, especially because it allows the helmet to fit into almost any underseat storage compartment. When it comes to fit, the Nishua runs rather tight, so you should definitely try it on at your trusted dealer before buying. As for wearing glasses, you do have to press them in a little at first, but once they're in place, they sit comfortably and don't press anymore. There's enough room in the padding for glasses to rest properly. Of course, because of the short visor, it's not really made for high-speed highway riding. Noise levels are about average, I'd say. But overall, the Nishua helmet really surprised me the most in this test. I thought, okay, cheapest helmet, €140, what can it really do? But in terms of price performance, the Nishua delivers really well. Next up is the GIVI X25, which costs €169 and has a feature I especially liked. And you can already see it here. It's designed with glasses wearers in mind. I have to say this was the most comfortable helmet to wear with glasses. They slide in incredibly smoothly, making it very pleasant to put on. Also great is the long visor, which extends all the way below the chin. That means the edge of the visor doesn't sit in your field of vision. It's a really comfortable riding experience. The integrated sun visor also helps when the sun gets stronger. In terms of fit, the helmet runs rather small, so definitely try it on before buying. Don't just order it blindly. Apart from that, it has some nice features like a ventilation opening at the top and overall very good wearing comfort. So the GIVI X25 is a solid recommendation for anyone looking for an affordable helmet with a long visor. The third helmet in the lineup is the Nolan N21 Visor 07. There's also a version of this helmet without the long visor, but as the name suggests, this is the one with the long visor. Again, the visor extends pleasantly far down, so the edge stays out of your field of view, which makes for a more comfortable ride. However, what did bother me a bit was the sun visor. It has a black edge at the bottom. I'm not sure if that's meant to be a visual design element or to improve comfort, but either way, it was distracting because it was right in my line of sight. Also, this helmet isn't ideal for glasses wearers. I really had to squeeze my glasses in because the cheek area is relatively stiff. So if you're sensitive when it comes to pressure from helmets, I'd recommend wearing this one for a minute or two when trying it on, just to make sure it doesn't start pressing uncomfortably during a ride. That said, the general comfort of the helmet is very good. It's easy to put on and take off thanks to the ratchet closure. Noise levels on the highway were also very acceptable. It's by no means a loud helmet. And thanks to the long visor, wind protection was also solid. Next up is the Sena Outstar S, the high-tech helmet in this test. It costs €260, and this helmet impressed me not just because of its features, like the integrated intercom system which connects to your smartphone so you can listen to music while riding, but also because of its very high wearing comfort. With the ratchet closure, it's quick to put on and it feels very comfortable while riding. The only downside to this helmet is that it can get quite loud when there are wind turbulences around the helmet, for example caused by a windshield. That's because it's not the most aerodynamic design, especially with the built-in intercom system mounted on the outside. However, if you're riding directly in the wind without turbulences, the noise level improves. So if you're looking for a helmet with a built-in intercom system and excellent comfort, including soft inner padding, the Sena Outstar S is definitely worth checking out. Now let's move on to one of my personal visual favorites, a helmet I also love wearing privately, though in a different design. Here we have the HJC V31 once again in a beautiful Disney Mickey Mouse design. Thanks to its helmet shell, the HJC is very compact. It fits nicely under a scooter seat. It comes with a short visor, which makes it ideal for city riding, though less suitable for the highway. At higher speeds, wind protection drops off and the helmet tends to get a bit louder. One thing that might bother city riders is the double D-ring closure. While it's very secure, it takes a bit more time to put the helmet on compared to a ratchet system. What really stood out to me in a positive way was the ear protection. When putting the helmet on, the padding wraps around the ears in such a way that it feels almost like a windproof vacuum. Very pleasant. The inner lining also feels very high quality. As for glasses wearers, I can recommend the helmet. It does take a bit of effort to get the glasses in at first, since the cheek area is a little stiff again, but once the glasses are in place, they fit comfortably. Optionally, you can also buy an additional windscreen for the front, which HJC offers as an extra. If you're looking to ride in style with a compact jet helmet, but don't mind a slightly more complicated closure system, then this is the helmet for you. When I look at this helmet, I feel like I've traveled back in time. John Player Special, the old Formula 1 cars, that's the vibe of the NEXX XG30. This helmet costs €300 and honestly, I could just put it on a shelf and admire it. It's simply beautiful, and I really do mean admire, because in terms of fit, this helmet was the most difficult for me in size M. I probably would have needed a size L. It was just too small for me, no way around it. It pressed at the front and the back. Because of that poor fit, wind hit me directly on the ears at higher speeds, which was really uncomfortable. So if you plan on ordering this helmet online, I'd recommend going one size up, or better yet, go to a store and try it on. As for features, it comes with a regular sun visor and also this yellow visor on top, which can easily be removed. That alone adds a lot of extra style points. To sum it up, the NEXX is a very good looking helmet. I really wish I had it in one size larger, then I'd definitely wear it more often. But in size M, it just didn't fit right. So be sure to pay attention to sizing when buying. Alright, with the next helmet, we're entering the premium category of jet helmets. This is the Shoei J-Cruise 3 and it comes in at €549. That's definitely a hefty price for a jet helmet, but you also get quite a lot in return. As I showed earlier, it's prepped for a communication system. It features an extensive ventilation system and comes with a deep visor, including a sun visor. In addition to the features, you also get a very comfortable helmet with a ratchet closure, which makes it quick and easy to put on. The inner padding is extremely soft and cozy, and especially good for glasses wearers. I had no trouble sliding my glasses in, and once they were in place, there was no pressure at all. Thanks to the deep visor, this is also a helmet that performs very well on the highway. Wind protection is excellent, and even on cooler days it keeps you well shielded for longer rides. So if you're looking for a fully equipped helmet and are willing to spend a bit more, I can honestly recommend the Shoei J-Cruise 3. Now let's take a look at a jet helmet that breaks with tradition, the idea that jet helmets can't have chin bars. Introducing the Schuberth J2, priced at 569 euros. It's a premium helmet in the premium price range, but it brings a real innovation to the table. It features a thin chin bar. That gives you an increased sense of safety. It almost feels like a full-face helmet, just with a slimmer chin section. And if you want to ride in full jet helmet style, you can simply remove the chin bar and enjoy a more classic open-face experience. I'd recommend this helmet to riders who say, yes, I want a jet helmet, but I also want to go out on country roads or do the occasional long highway ride. This helmet is perfect for that because it's so versatile. You can easily switch configurations. As you can see, it's also designed for glasses wearers. I had no trouble sliding my glasses in, and there was no pressure at all. The inner padding is very comfortable and adapts nicely to the shape of your head. Comfort is further enhanced by the ratchet closure, which makes it quick to put on. It also features a long visor that covers the whole face, plus a sun visor for added glare protection. And as you'd expect from a premium helmet, it includes a ventilation system. So if you're looking for a hybrid jet helmet, one that's not just a jet, but also part full face, if you will, then the Schuberth J2 could be the right choice. Sure, it's an investment, but you're essentially getting two helmets in one. Saving the best, or in this case the most expensive, for last, the Arai SZ-R EVO, priced at 636 euros. Here we have it in a beautiful design, a true premium helmet from Arai. And that means top-tier comfort. Everyone here loves Arai's inner padding. It's incredibly hard to find this level of comfort in any other helmet. You get a long visor for solid face protection. Unfortunately, there's no integrated sun visor, but that's part of Arai's philosophy. They deliberately don't include sun visors because they believe it compromises the helmet's safety. So if you need sun protection, you'll have to go for a tinted visor or buy an add-on sun shield from Arai. As mentioned, the comfort level is excellent and glasses fit perfectly without causing any pressure. Thanks to the long visor, you also get plenty of face protection at higher speeds, and the noise level stays within a reasonable range. So if you're on board with Arai's approach, no built-in sun visor, and you're looking for a high-end premium jet helmet, then the Arai SZ-R EVO is a strong choice. It does come at a higher price, but you're getting outstanding quality in return. Now let's wrap up this helmet video, and I'll also share my personal recommendations, because choosing a clear test winner just isn't possible. The helmets are simply too different and fall into completely different price categories. So what I've presented here was more of a showcase of helmets that you can currently buy and that I've personally tested. Still, I want to highlight a few personal favorites that really stood out to me. Starting with the low price segment, the Nishua impressed me the most with its excellent price-performance ratio. For 140 euros, you get a very complete helmet in a clean, simple design. You can wear it with practically any bike, and it also offers great comfort. In the mid-range price category, I really like the Nolan. Yes, it has that sun visor with the thick edge that ends up in your field of vision, which is a bit of a downside. But the overall comfort, the helmet shell and the design really won me over. It's a helmet I'd gladly wear on any scooter or relaxed bike. It just works well all around and is very comfortable to wear. And in the high-end segment, I want to highlight the Schuberth J2 simply because of the chin bar. It's a hybrid helmet that I can use on pretty much anything. Even short rides on a sport bike would be possible. That extra sense of security really plays a role for me mentally. I've got chin protection, and if I ever go down face first, it won't hurt as much. That's a real bonus. And if I want to, I can just remove the chin piece and I've got a proper jet helmet again. Those are my recommendations, and that's the end of this video on jet helmets. I hope I was able to give you a good overview of the topic. If you're in the market for a jet helmet, head to your local dealer, try them on, and maybe leave the helmet on for a few minutes to really get a feel for the fit. As we learned today, a size M isn't always the same across brands, and the same goes for other sizes. If you still have questions or tips to share with the community, drop them in the comments. Let's gather as much useful info as possible for anyone looking to buy a jet helmet. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye and take care.